New Readers Press Online Learning, our new TASC course. And your host for today will be Greg Stultz. Greg has been a trainer with New Readers Press for nearly 13 years. And he has also served in adult education over in Japan. He did that for 8 years. So he brings lots of experience on both sides of the coin today. So without further ado, I'd like to turn it over to Greg.
Thank you, Darlene, and thank you all for joining this afternoon and welcome. Over the next hour, we're going to look at the New Readers Press Online Learning TASC, test prep course. That's a mouthful. You'll see the student experience. You'll see the user-friendly learning management system. I'll share a promo code for a discount on our TASC test prep materials and tell you how to contact us for a free trial or pilot for your organization. I'll give you an opportunity to vote for what you'd like to see live today and hopefully answer any questions to boot. And if I'm going to do all that, well, then we better get moving. So are you ready? Here we go. Our new online TASC test prep course is aligned to the College Career Readiness and TASC test standards, and it offers test-specific at-level instruction for students who are ready. A pre-HSE course is available for learners who need to strengthen their fundamental skills, build vocabulary, raise their reading levels first. This course is adapted from our Core Skills series. Instructions delivered at a 6th to 8th grade reading level, and it's aligned to the College Career Readiness standards. It's on the same platform as our TASC course, which means only one learning management system for admins and instructors to learn. And it's the same basic course features for the students, so they can move seamlessly from pre-HSE to TASC or work in pre-HSE and TASC simultaneously with just one username and password. You can ask for more information on our pre-HSE course following today's presentation, but now let's get back to TASC and a few questions for you to answer if you don't mind. And here is the first one. These answers are anonymous, so we're not tracking who's voting how. But if you take the next 15 to 30 seconds, how do you need or want to provide digital instruction for your students? And please check all that apply. There they go. Very good, very good. Okay, looks like just about everybody's weighed in here. So we'll go ahead and end this one. And %80 said synchronously as a live or virtual class, with 60% saying live or virtual one-on-one, and 40% saying independently, self-paced study. Okay, thank you for that. The next question . How do you need or want to provide digital instruction for your students? And again, check all that apply. Very good. Wait a minute. You know, that's the same darn question. Let's go back in, and I'm trying to get to the next question here. And it's not letting me. There it is, for crying out loud. Sorry about that, folks. Here's the next one. What device or devices do your students use for instruction? And again, check all that apply. Okay, well, that's pretty telling. Everyone said smartphone. Everyone said PC. Half said a tablet or a Chromebook. And just 17% indicated none. One more. Here we are. Regarding curriculum, which statement or statements are true for you? And please check all that apply. Okay. And here we have okay, 17% want to work through a structured digital course. 67% split said I want to customize curriculum and I want my student to be able to choose how and what to study. So it looks like folks are looking for more control. Excellent. Thank you for that. All right, well, that was the quick poll. My mind's running a little behind my body today, or is it vice versa? So with that information, three things that I'd like to point out that stand out to me about this program. One is that it's flexible. It can be used in a variety of different ways by a variety of programs to fit a variety of instructional models. Two, it provides personalized learning, empowering students through highly interactive features, pacing guides, and much more. And 67% of you said that's what you're looking for. We want our students to be able to navigate, take control, be more independent. Three, it's accessible around the clock on computer, tablet, and smartphone. And every one of you said, yes, our learners are working from smartphones. They're working on PCs. So good news for you. The online learning course can be used in the classroom for group instruction, for distance learning programs or virtual classrooms, for independent study to expand the capacity of your program, maybe to serve learners on a wait list, or for blended learning, a hybrid model incorporating the print materials with the online solution. The students can download the free mobile app so they'll be able to study anytime and anywhere. They can even switch to airplane mode and work offline. When they go back online before closing the app, their work will sync and all time and progress is saved. So what's in it? Well, analytics provides useful information for administrators, teachers, and students. Interactive content, more than just reading and listening, that better engages learners in myriad ways. Guided practice offers tips and develops critical thinking. Interactive study tools like online note-taking, highlighting, and bookmarking. Adaptive flashcards for vocabulary building. Games for engaging review. Self-assessment and review that lets students take ownership of their learning. And 24-hour access. And that, I think, is a formula for success. The students will quickly learn to navigate the online learning courses with ease. Each of the 4 courses, the math, reading and writing, science, and social studies, begins by walking the learner through all the features they'll use so they can hit the ground running. Next, a pretest shows their prior knowledge, their strengths and weaknesses, and sets the stage for learning and ongoing assessment. A structured study plan can move them through the course, starting with the unit introduction and objectives before diving into the unit's lessons. And then each lesson is followed by vocabulary practice using flashcards and practice questions based on the lesson. A unit test helps determine whether they're ready to advance or where they need to review. And each subject has a post-test covering everything in the course and a half-length practice test to gauge TASC test readiness. Let's take a closer look. When the students log in, they begin on the home page. There's an adaptive course calendar with daily goals and course completion target dates that track progress and serve as an effective pacing guide. The next button takes the students to their current study task, and that's in the structured plan. Every task is assigned a certain number of knowledge points. When the students complete a task, they earn knowledge points toward their daily goal. In this case, it's, as you see here, 32 knowledge points. And 1 knowledge point equals roughly a minute of study time. The students can use this as a time management tool for study. But a lot of you indicated, well, we're not all about the structured course. What if we want to pick and choose, or we want our learners to do so? Providing more than just linear instruction, the menu allows the students to use customized curriculum assigned by their instructor and based on their individual needs. They can participate in private and group discussions facilitated by their instructor. They also have the option to take charge of their own learning experience. And they can do that by revisiting lessons, flashcards, practice questions. They can skip around if that's what they want to do and if that's what you encourage them to do. They can go back and work on practice questions and tests at any time. And there are 4 different games that make the review fun and motivating. As the students work through the lessons, interactive features like interpreting sources items in social studies. This walks them through how to analyze and interpret passages, pictures, graphics, maps, or data to answer the TASC social studies test questions. Guided practice checks their understanding and facilitates critical thinking, and providing or hiding the hints and answers with just a simple click. A toolbar in the top right corner of the lesson features interactive study tools, which allow the students to highlight, bookmark, make notes, and access the calculator. Rating their confidence before moving to the next page of any lesson and seeing a recap of their work will help them decide whether they need to review or they're ready to continue. Self-assessment plays a big part here. The students can make the most of their review time by targeting low confidence level areas and returning to their notes, their bookmark lessons, and their highlighted texts. They can use their practice question and test dashboards to track their scores and review the questions they answered incorrectly. Students can even reset questions by clicking on Reset Category for the practice questions or Reset Test. And the previous test scores are saved for assessing work and for measuring gains. They can do this up to 3 times. Okay, I did it in the right order this time. It's time for another quick poll. If you take the next 30 seconds or so and answer this poll, please, I would appreciate it. Get the right one here. There it is. Regarding data analysis, what do you need or want to have access to? And if you would check all that apply. Don't see anyone answering yet. Oh, here it comes. Exploded on me. Now everybody's answering at once. Give you a few more seconds. Okay. So everyone's interested in the course progress reports, time on task for reporting purposes, practice and test scores. The vast majority of you would like to be able to view questions that are answered incorrectly. And about half of you said class and institution level reports and the student reports. Okay, thank you, thank you. On to the reports. For teachers, the learning management system allows them to access the course content, initiate and monitor discussions via the study dashboard. The reporting dashboard lets them customize the study plan for the students, send messages to a group or individual, view progress reports at individual, student, or class level, and download detailed time on task reports. On the study dashboard, teachers can use discussions to communicate with their students one-on-one or in a group. Worksheets, homework, customized curriculum, writing prompts, links, and whatever else you can think of can be sent in the discussion box or even as attachments. So this for two-way communication, assignments, questions, discussions. The teachers can create banner messages that are displayed across the top of the study dashboard where students can't miss them. Here, do the course introduction and pretest, then stop, it says. I'll give you your next assignment after I check your test score. So one-way communication here. There's an example of a banner message. They also have the ability to create and deliver in-app messages that are delivered to a student's email box. Moving to the reporting dashboard, curriculum content can be customized for individual or multiple learners and saved or modified for use with others. So for those of you who indicated, you know, the structured course isn't for everyone. Maybe we need to fast track our students, pick and choose what we want them to study. Maybe they don't need the whole numbers, but they need the algebra. Maybe they don't need the fractions, but they need the geometry. This is for you. In-class reports, the teachers and supervisors can view aggregate totals and average progress through the course, practice questions and exam averages. They can look at totals and progress by subject, and they can click Analyze to drill down and see even more. Here, teachers can see individual student performance at a glance, the top 5 lessons with the most low confidence levels, and the vocabulary they are struggling with the most. They can look at the 5 hardest practice questions, the ones answered incorrectly the most by category, and the 5 hardest questions per exam, where a drop-down box shows the 5 questions that are answered incorrectly the most often. And this at class level. The individual student reports have analytics very similar to those in the class reports. Aggregate totals and breakdowns by subject. Confidence level breakdown for the lessons and the flashcards. With even more detailed information on the practice and test questions, like average answer times and their scores. And real-time downloadable session detail reports that are filterable by class, student, course, and date range. And they provide time on task for distance learning and funding requirements. Capturing more than just session time totals, they show exactly where the study time was spent. The tests, practice questions, lessons, vocabulary cards, games, even idle time where the students were logged in, but they moved to another tab, another browser, and now maybe they're on Facebook or they're playing Candy Crush or on YouTube. The onboarding is actually pretty easy, and I say that because I can do it. And I'm not a genius when it comes to tech stuff. Administrators can quickly and easily create classes and add instructors and students. They can also upload multiple classes for larger programs, instructors and students in one easy step using a single CSV file. Then frequently asked questions, quick start guides, and a comprehensive user guide are all available in the support section of the program or on our New Readers Press website. Training videos and sessions are also provided. Concurrent licensing. Spend a second here. Concurrent licensing means less money and less hassle, basically. Instead of purchasing a seat for every student who will be enrolled in the online program, you pay only for the maximum number of students who will be logged in at any given time. And this means no more worrying about unused seats, no having to revoke licenses and reassign them to other students. Very simple. And speaking of saving, you can save 10% on New Readers Press TASC test prep materials through the 15th of next month. Be sure to use or mention the promotion code that you see here. It's TAS20, short for TASC, TASC20. And again, you can call in to customer service, or if you're used to ordering online, just make sure that you enter that promotion code or mention it to your customer service representative. Say, hey, save us some money. And at the beginning, I also mentioned an opportunity to request a free trial or pilot. So all you have to do is go to newreaderspress.com and click up at the top, find a sales rep, right across the top. And then type in your state, where it asks for your state, reps by location, and reach out to your rep who's waiting to hear from you. And we'll be happy to sign you up. If you just want a free trial for 30 days so that you can play around in the student experience and see what exactly is in the course and how easy is it to navigate, is it engaging, then ask for a trial. If, however, you'd like for your students to try it out and you'd like to be able to look at the learning management system, then you can investigate and explore that opportunity with your sales rep. Give them a call and we might be able to set you up with a longer pilot to try out for your program.
Right, we have a question.
Yes.
Marianne Rockwell asked, could you start with 10 in a class and add individual students as interest demands?
That's an interesting question. Yes, you can. If you create a contract and purchase a license for the TASC online learning, you can start out with an initial number, and then as demand warrants, contact customer service and let them know we need to increase the number of seats, the number of concurrent licenses that we purchased on our contract. That is possible. But remember, you can sign up more than just the learners that you're purchasing for. So let me explain it this way. Imagine a parking lot outside of your program, outside of the building or your site. You have 100 learners that are signed up for your program, but your parking lot only has 10 spaces in it. Well, how many of your students should you give parking permits to? All of them. All 100, but you only have 10 parking spaces. What that means is that you just have to monitor and make sure that only 10 of your learners are coming in to the program to park at the same time. That's how the concurrent license works. So if you bought a 10 user license, you could sign up 50 of your students, but have them working at specified times. So you might have blackout times and days for some learners. And here's where it's trial and error. Maybe well, we're going to have a lot more than 10 working at one time. Let's shoot for 15 or 25. And then as the need dictates, contact customer service to sign up for more. But but the fact is, if you want to start 10 students, you can probably start 15 or more and just juggle the times that they'll be online and working. Okay. So with our remaining time, what I'd like to do is show you the program live. And I really want to know what you want to see. So one more of these, please weigh in now, and then we'll jump in. We'll take a live look based on how you vote.
Greg,
Yes.
while they're answering a poll question,
Yes.
another question come in. Can you talk about the per capita option?
Per capita.
That's another one from Mary Ann.
Mary Ann, I'm not familiar with the per capita option. So if you'd like to unmute yourself and explain that one, I welcome you to do so. Maybe Mary Ann doesn't have audio. Or if you'd like to put that in the chat. I'm sorry, Mary Ann, I'm not familiar with the per capita option. So either you know more than I do or you misheard me. And okay.
Oh, Mary Ann just wrote back. She said,
Yes.
she was told one could let students learn independently, which would suit the library setup for $50 a person. She said she spoke with Rob and he mentioned it yesterday. You know what, while you're going through the program live, Greg, I'm going to reach out to Rob.
Yes.
And I will reconnect and with you and with Mary Ann in just a few minutes.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
And I have to apologize. You know, this was supposed to say the TASC study dashboard, and I see here that it says the GED study dashboard. And who the heck wants to see that when the focus is on TASC? It was supposed to say, but what I am seeing is that we are scattered across the board. We've got, we've got an equal number of votes for just about everything, with the exception of the pre-HSE, which there's really not much interest in seeing. So that being said, I'm going to jump out of our PowerPoint, and we're going to dive in and take a live look and you should all now be seeing the login screen. And away we go. So I'm going to go ahead and log in so that I can show you the full experience here, and we'll use this user account that should give us everything that we need. So I'm signed up actually as an administrator and an instructor, and so it's going to show us everything here. And I can also log in to the student experience from here as well. So here's a quick look. This is the institution administration dashboard, where we have here how you can easily create student and instructor accounts. It's as easy as entering a first and last name and an email address, assigning a password or letting the students choose it, and then assigning the course or courses that you'd like the students to be working in. Click create and Bob's your uncle. That's all you need to do to create a student account. And it's really not much different for the instructor accounts for you who are administrators, and we'll be setting these up. And for larger programs, you can do upload multiple instructors and students in classes, but here's what the instructor login looks like, or creation process looks like. The first and last name, email, optional password, and then select the role or roles for the instructor. Do you want her or him to be an instructor, solely an instructor, or do you want to allow your instructor to also have administrative privileges, supervisory privileges, where they can see all classes and students, not only their own? Once you've created your students and instructors, you can click on classes and you can set up a new class or upload multiple classes. And as you see, we have some created here. Here's a TASC class, Stultz M, Monday, Thursday, AM, Fall 20. So I've named it so that I can track it. Stultz Monday, Thursday, morning, Fall 2020, TASC class with one instructor and 2 students. And I can go in and manage the instructors and students. Easily adding new students from the available student list from the roster here, creating new students to enter into the class, or I can manage the students in the class and I can remove a student or more from the class if that's what I choose to do. Very, very easy. And that's basically what you do on the institution admin dashboard. Next, for instructors, is the reporting dashboard, all just with one login. And then you just go to the user icon in the upper right corner. And here, as I mentioned earlier, is where you can create and assign customized curriculum for your learners. As you can see here, I've done so. I have Earl's Fast Track for Social Studies, Earl's TASC Science, Fall 20, right? Here's one that I made in error. And since I don't want it anymore, I'm going to click on that and edit it. Now I could click and I could fix it, or I could decide, you know what? I don't want it at all. And it's that easy to delete curriculum that's been completed and that you are not going to reassign. But you can go in at any time and edit the curriculum, adding more learners to it, adding more tasks to it.
Greg, I have another question.
Yes.
Which engine web browser do you recommend? Chrome, Firefox, Explorer?
Well, that's a good question. And it actually, on our website, goes to, let's back up one, Greg. TASC test prep. Tech support. Google Chrome is the recommended browser, but it also works with Safari, Firefox, and Internet Explorer 10 and up. So you'll find all of the tech requirements on our website. New Readers Press, Digital Solutions. Click on the TASC Test Prep course, and then you'll see here some handy tabs that have user guides that are downloadable PDFs for instructors, administrators, a comprehensive user guide, frequently asked questions, tech support, even instructions, a quick video on how your students and you can download the mobile app onto your mobile device. I had a program do that earlier today in Maine. So that's all on our website. Back quickly to the reporting dashboard for instructors. Here on curriculum, you simply give the curriculum a name. And pick the course. I've chosen TASC Social Studies, and then class, or you can leave it open if you want all of the classes to be included. I'm going to go to my Stultz morning class, and I have Earl and Bell in the class, and I want both of them to be doing the same work. And I click continue. And voila, now I have all of the tasks from the course introduction and pre-test all the way to the post-test and practice test. Everything listed in order, and I can eyeball them to see, make sure that I'm assigning students the right thing, take a quick look at it before I pull the trigger. And then when I'm ready, I can go ahead and click on the tasks that I want my learners to do. And once I'm satisfied, click continue. It'll give me one last opportunity to look at it, make sure that I'm doing the right thing to both students, these two tasks, just the course intro and the introduction. That's all I want them to do. Okay, that sounds right. It even tells me the number of knowledge points so that if I wanted to check and make sure I'm not assigning them too much time-wise. Here's about 11 minutes, more or less, worth of work. That's a good start, and then I'll touch base after they've completed that. I can go ahead and click assign, and two things happen. One, this new curriculum appears on my dashboard, TASC Prep Fast, and it will show me the progress. Looks like one of my students has already completed some of this work, if not all. And again, I can go in and modify this or delete it when I'm finished. The other thing that happened is that it sent these assignments to the curriculum board for both Earl and Bell, my two learners. So those assignments are waiting for them on their curriculum board. I mentioned the message center where you can create banner messages and in-app messages, and that's here on the reporting dashboard as well. Here are some messages that I've created. Some are expired, some have been published already, right? Here's one that I sent recently. Do the course introduction and pre-test, then stop. I'll give you your next assignment after I check your test score, right? And here you can create the banner messages, and even you can decide which class or classes to send it to. You can make your message here up to 125 characters and even choose the active dates. And you can do the same with the in-app messages, only the in-app messages you can decide individually who the recipients will be. And these messages are not time-stamped, but instead, when you send an in-app message, it goes to the student's inbox on their course at the top. Down into analytics, we can view by class, by institution, by student. And again, here, it will show us the last date that they performed an activity. It shows their average progress, and you can do this by class, as I showed you earlier, and drill down deeper, 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 or you can do so by starting at the student level and just take a look at a specific student. And look at individual student results. Like so. We'll look for Earl. There she is. Only 8%. That's okay. I told her to stop. She took the exam, scored a 50%. Now here I'm going to show you something kind of nifty. In addition to looking at her information, aggregate totals, and then some of the, we'll look at her social studies, which is the only one that she started in right now. I'm saying she, and you're saying, but he said Earl. Earl is my daughter's nickname. All right. Here it shows progress, and I can go down and look at her lessons, her flashcards, practice and exams, as I showed you earlier. But here's a great feature, the impersonate feature. If I click on impersonate here, I can actually go in and I'll be logged in impersonating Earl so that I can see exactly the work that she's performed. And it's going to caution me first. Look, but don't touch. If you perform any activity, answer a question, mark a confidence level, it's going to be recorded as if you were Earl. So, ready to continue? Okay. It's also going to remind me to stop impersonating her after I'm finished looking. Now, this will not affect her time on task, all right? Again, you don't want to do any work. Just look. So I can go in now and I can look at her practice questions and see, and well, she hasn't done any practice questions. I told her not to, but I can look at her test result, 50% on the pretest, 19 of 38 correctly. And I can go ahead and even look deeper. And here with the question review, I can see the questions that she answered incorrectly, right? Take a look at the difficulty level that was assigned to the question. I can review the question, right? Just not make any changes. But here's another thing that we can do. We can look at the category scores when we're looking at our students' test results. And clicking on category scores, now it's going to show me across the units and lessons the questions that she answered and the percentage that she answered correctly or incorrectly. And I might be able to use this as a prescriptive tool to decide what I want her to be working on in this social studies course, right? And I'll look for, well, let's see, strengths and weaknesses. In economics, 30%, so it's a good idea probably to cover economics. Unit 3, civics and government, only 36%. She did fairly well actually in history, 80%. So she's pretty strong in history. We might just breeze through that, right? And unit 1, geography, 57%. So you could look for some commonality here and some patterns and decide. Okay. Here you see the banner message across the top of her screen. And here is where she can check and look in her inbox to see if there are any messages from her instructor. And she'll also get notifications like game notifications, and when she does, when she unlocks achievement badges as she works through the program. I mentioned where she would go for customized curriculums. She can choose to work from the structured plan going in order, but if she clicks on curriculum, she's going to see just those assignments that I've given her, and she can work from her curriculum tab. And of course, at any time, if she chooses, she can go in and say, well, you know what? I just want to do some of these individual lessons. I want to work on vocabulary. I want to take a break and actually play a few of the games, right? Maybe a sudden death or maybe a card picker. I advise instructors to tell their students to finish a unit before attacking the games. Just get through a unit or even a lesson, because depending on the game, they can filter by unit. And of course, yes.
We had someone ask can you show us part of a lesson? I'm wondering if math has tutorials or step-by-step instructions in solving the problem.
Absolutely.
If the practice questions that answer incorrectly provides them with the correct answer and explanation.
Absolutely. Great questions, and I'm going to show that now. So let's switch over to TASC Math. And this is how students do it. They just need one login, and once they're logged in, they can choose from their different subject areas where they're going to work, just with that drop-down bar that you see here. So now we're in TASC Math. Let's go to a lesson. Clicking on lessons, you can actually see all of the lessons. So number sense and operations, measurement, algebra basics. Is there any one lesson that you'd like to see in particular, or topic? Geometry, algebra, and you can unmute yourself if you'd like, or put it in the chat. You know, I said you can unmute yourself if you like. I wonder if they can unmute themselves.
I'm not sure that they can, Greg. She didn't post any. Oh, she said algebra.
Okay, great. Thank you. I'm sorry, I've been saying, go ahead, unmute yourselves, and people are probably trying desperately. So we'll go into algebra, maybe using inverse operations. So here's an example. This is using inverse operations. And you see here, we have the toolbar, calculator. They can highlight information, bookmark, make notes. And as we scroll down here, it walks them through. Here they can click for vocabulary explanations. And as they scroll down through, there are examples. And here it actually walks them through the critical thinking process. Think, solve for y in the equation. You want to get y alone, right? And now do. Subtract 16 from both sides, and here's the solution. Right? Second example as well. And then scrolling down, look at the price tag on the jacket in the drawing. So as you can see, several examples given, right? And it walks them through the process with clear examples, numerous examples. in this lesson. Reviewing key terms at the bottom. At the end, it will ask them to assess this. How did you feel about it? Are you confident, somewhere in between, or do you just not get it? If you're struggling, well, a good idea would be to bookmark it, maybe to make a note as well. And this for self-assessment and review, but also so that the instructor can look and say, okay, I see that you bookmarked this and you made a note from me. Ask Mr. S in our next session to explain this, right? Shows related questions here as well. And then once we've given this a confidence rating, we can continue on to the next lesson, solving multi-step equations, where here again we have step-by-step procedures. First, next, and here an example, step 1, step 2. And that's basically how you would work through. And of course, these are just the lessons. Now, what you didn't see was had we gone through this step by step as in the course, following that lesson, there would be practice as well. So let's scroll down. Here, clear examples. Fractions and decimals and equations. Again, step-by-step procedures and examples given. And periodically it will tell them, here's a quick recap of your task, your progress, your knowledge points earned, your confidence levels. Do you need to review, or are you ready to move on to the next, right? Darlene, did I answer that question in its entirety?
Yes, I believe you did, Greg.
Okay. You know, we have a minute or two left. The time flew for me. Is there anything else you'd like to see, or do you have any other questions with the remaining few minutes that we have? And I will add that I'd be happy to stay on for a few minutes longer if there's more that you'd like to see. But reiterating what I offered earlier, I encourage you to reach out to your representative and say, hey, I'd like to take a better look at this. Could you set me up with a trial or with a pilot for my program? Other questions, comments, or requests?
I don't have any more open questions, Greg, but
all right.
Thank you so much for providing this webinar for us. We appreciate all of you attending. And as Greg said, if you have more questions, please reach out to your rep or our customer service department as well. Thank you all again. And we will be sending out a link to the recording along with a certificate of participation. So thank you all again. And thank you, Greg, for this presentation.
It's been a pleasure. Thanks, everyone. Keep doing what you're doing. You are appreciated, and we'll see you next time.